Our next guest represents an organization whose decades of dedication toward helping people live healthier, happier lives has made them an ideal fit as a patriotic sponsor for this year's National Convention. Our next guest is the Vice President of Veterans Healthcare for Philips North America, who for 4 years served as the VA Deputy Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs. During that time, he helped to reduce veterans' homelessness, expand the GI Bill, end the benefit backlog, and improve access to care. Prior to his work at the VA, he served the White House as the traveling press aide to former Vice President Al Gore and in the U.S. Senate. He comes from 2 military families and is married to a caregiver of a Vietnam-era veteran. Please welcome our esteemed guest, Mr. Nathan Naylor.
Hey everybody. Good morning, veterans of foreign wars, VFW Auxiliary, distinguished guests, and friends. Thank you, BJ, Doc, Hal, Kevin, Kim, and my battle buddy, Kevin Jameson, who's out there somewhere. I'm very pleased to represent the over 20,000 US-based employees of Philips North America in speaking with you today. In fact, this is a bucket list personal for me, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. You heard some of my story during that warm introduction, but what you may not know is that I'm the grandson of a World War II and Korean War veterans, the son-in-law of the late General John Nelson Abrams, and I'm married to a military caregiver who stayed with her dad after his brain surgery at Walter Reed every night her mom didn't send her home. I've had my heart broken when my grandfather, Captain Jesse Abner Naylor, died too young, and when Captain Eugene Breitenberg learned that his final battle would be a 3-front war against Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia. At this time last year, my family and I were frenetically preparing for General Abrams' long-awaited return home, a goal that was short-lived as he would pass away a few weeks later at Walter Reed, where his father Creighton and mother Julie died years previously. These experiences have taught me that family cannot be replaced, home is precious, and time is short. In my experience, VFW knows these truths, as do my former VA colleagues and my colleagues at Philips today. Our goal at Philips is to improve the lives of 3 billion people by 2030. My goal is to start on that objective with the VFW and work out from there. So I'm signed up for the mission with each of you, and I'm not alone. The full weight of Philips North America is in the fight too. If you don't know us at Philips, we were founded just a few years around the time of VFW, so we're in good company. Philips knows that our world today would not exist if it weren't for the American GIs liberating Europe from the beaches of Normandy, and it's something that Philips has never forgotten. In fact, we're honored that the American veterans and VA are our largest clients in the world. Philips is also one of the great global engines of innovation. We're making extraordinary advances in telehealth and connected care, and we're on the precipice of helping change the way healthcare is delivered in your homes and in your communities, where you live. Because time is short, home is precious, and each of you are irreplaceable. So that's why I'm here today, to show you what VA, Philips, and the VFW have been able to create together. Because of the leadership of VFW in helping pass the Mission Act, the Department of Veterans Affairs is able to make bold, sweeping changes to the way healthcare is delivered. It's a very exciting time. Over the past several months, VA Phillips and VFW have teamed up on Project Atlas to bring telehealth to local VFW posts in remote communities in rural America. It's in these places that I've met probably the cutest married couple in North America, Rick and Mel Weldon, at post 6786 in Eureka, Montana, Ray Andell in VFW post 7842 in Linesville, Pennsylvania, and Mike Hughes at post 2487 in Los Banos, California. Project Atlas is designed to bring convenient, secure, and private environments where you can talk with your doctor from the convenience and comfort of your community and from your VFW hall. But rather than tell you about Atlas, I'd like to play a short video to show you what your members have helped create.
The Department of Veterans Affairs is implementing the Historic Mission Act to extend healthcare to veterans in rural and underserved areas. VA is exploring ways to leverage new resources and technologies to care for veterans who live far from VA facilities.
Here in Linesville, Pennsylvania, there is no masses of population here. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Here in Los Banos, California, we have some homeless veterans. We have a lot of veterans that are elderly, that are on fixed incomes and don't have the capabilities of getting to the doctors.
Right now, we have absolutely no service for the vets here in Eureka.
We have a precipitation called grapple. It's not ice, it's not snow, it's not rain, but it's like trying to drive on ball bearings. There's no taxi service, there's no bus service. So how do you get them to their health appointment?
Our closest VA hospital is in Helena, Montana, which is 4 hours away.
Telehealth is vital to removing geographic and digital barriers to care. Over 1 million veterans received care through telehealth services last year, a record-breaking year for VA. 94% were satisfied with their telehealth visits. Phillips teamed up with the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, and the Department of Veterans Affairs through Project Atlas to donate telehealth solutions to allow veterans to conduct virtual appointments with their VA care teams.
The VA has a mission to deliver best-in-class service to veterans everywhere. We can be much more successful if we have strong and effective partnerships. Phillips said, "We're going to contribute our design expertise and help you create this exam room, which can then be stood up in VFW halls, at American Legions, in any place in rural America where there's broadband access that veterans can come in and speak with their VA providers."
Phillips knows that if you can track someone's blood pressure, oxygen levels, body mass index weight, then clinicians can help their patients stay healthy.
We have an amazing opportunity to give an enhanced telehealth experience to the veterans across the country. What our solution allows them to have and their clinician to have is a highly tuned environment that will create the best space for them to receive that care.
Our exploration into telehealth has begun in 3 locations: Eureka, Montana, Linesville, Pennsylvania, and Los Banos, California. This is where the Atlas journey has begun.
So you come into the local VFW, there will be an attendant, so just like a normal office visit, you'd have to kind of check in, make sure that it's the right appointment. We like to go out and do what we call design research and then also co-creation. As soon as we start having this conversation, the tone in the room completely changes. People open up, people are really excited to start thinking about new solutions with us.
Space has a big role to play in making healthcare better. Through colors and types of furniture, am I comfortable? Can I hear? Can I see? All those things are space related.
When they said a mock-up, I'm thinking a little model or something like that. That's impressive. I mean, very realistic.
The simulation piece as a provider really helps me to think about what the lighting will look like, what the sound could be like, and it helps to give input into the design process to make it the optimal experience for the remote provider, but also on the veteran side to be able to say, well, do we have it right?
When I need to see the doctor, I need to travel 70 miles one direction and drive back 70 miles. The fact that this is so convenient, it's going to make a difference in people's lives.
I'm looking very forward to the rollout, looking forward to the demonstration and seeing everything in place.
When we think about the requirements of the Atlas solution, it really draws on the portfolio of Philips. We have devices that come from our connected care business, but we also have technology that's coming from our in-hospital business, the ambient experience elements, and now we're combining them together, but put into a new context, and that new context is remote telehealth.
So it's with projects like this where we have that connectivity and we have a therapeutic environment, a space where the community can rally towards and really build something meaningful. This is the way of the future.
You've been great hosts in Montana, Pennsylvania, and California, and I look very much forward to working with many of you in other sites around the country. But we still need your help here at the convention. I'm pleased to say that the first in the world example of the Project Atlas prototype is right over yonder through that air wall on the Philips booth in your expo hall. I'd love to meet you, my colleagues and I, talk with you and hear what you have to say about the project and how we can work together to improve telehealth in your VFW posts. Please let us know your thoughts, and I look forward to working with you. It's an honor to serve you, to give back in a small way to our world's largest customer, the American veteran. When I think of our work together these past many months, it's true that no one does more for veterans than the VFW. Thank you, and God bless America.